Hi, this is Dave from Geekanoids.co.uk bringing you our review of the third generation iPod Nano. This device arrived with us yesterday. I've had a chance to play with it. I'll be giving you a look at the new user interface, just how tiny this device is, and also my first impressions of how good it is or not. But before we do the review, we've had some interesting news this morning. Apple have finally announced the UK carrier for the iPhone. They have chosen O2. It will be available from November the 9th. Price £269. The price plans range from £35 a month up to £55 a month. Now for this monthly cost you get various minutes and SMS included. You get unlimited data, but this is subject to a fair use policy. 1,400 pages of internet per day, which is more than enough for anyone. Now let's get on with the review of Apple's third generation iPod Nano. Okay, this is the third gen iPod Nano. We've been sent a black version. I'm going to show you what you get inside the box. Okay, obviously got the iPod itself. Just put that down there. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Designed by Apple California. Some quick start guides in various languages. The dock adapter. The Apple supplied earphones. And we have a USB dock connector. That's what you get inside the box. Let's just take a look at the iPod itself. To flex the back slightly just to pop this out. And there we have it. This is the third generation iPod Nano. Very, very tiny. Very, very thin. Bottom of the iPod has got the headphone socket, dock connector and the hold switch. So everything's on the bottom of the iPod. The top of the iPod has no controls at all now. And in the back of course has the iPod logo and the capacity. As I mentioned, this is an 8GB model. So that's the iPod itself. Let's take a look at the new user interface. This is the new user interface for the third gen iPod Nano. You'll have to excuse my finger popping into view every now and again, but the click wheel is very, very tiny on this new model. As you can see, the user interface has changed quite a lot from previous generations. We now have a split screen with the menu selections on the left hand side and some previews where applicable on the right hand side. I'm going to go into the music menu. Cover flow is new to the third gen iPod Nano, and you get some previews of your album artwork, and if you click on one of them it flips round to show the tracks that you have synced to your Nano, which is a very, very nice feature. We'll pop back to the previous menu. You can also select by playlist, artists, album, song, genres, composers, audiobooks, or you can go into the search function, which brings up a little scrolling text selector, so you can search for whatever track you're looking for. Pop back out to the main menu. We've got videos, of which I've put none onto the Nano yet. Photos, same again, I haven't put any onto the Nano. Podcasts, again you get some sort of previews on the right hand panel there. We go into there, you get little thumbnails down the left hand side, and on the right hand side you get details of what podcast you're going to select and whether it's an audio podcast or a video podcast, which is shown by the small monitor screen just underneath the little dots you can see there. The dots also represent, as they've always done on the iPod, whether you've actually listened to this particular podcast or not. If there's a blue dot, then it's you've got something there you haven't listened to. Let's go back to the previous screen. In extras, we've got clocks, calendars, contacts, alarms, games, notes, screen lock and a stopwatch. Let's pop into games. Got 3 games as on the iPod Classic. We have iPod Quiz, Klondike and Vortex. Pop back one again and into settings. We have adjustments for shuffle, repeat. We can take things off the main menu and the music menu or add them on. We can set a volume limit, set the backlight and the brightness, which at the moment, to give you an idea, is at 61%. Audio books, we have some settings there. Equalizer, sound check, clicker, date and time, sort by language, legal and reset settings. So plenty of settings you can play with there. One thing I thought to show you in the settings menu is in the about menu, same as on the iPod Classic again. We've got a interface there that shows you how much of your iPod Nano is occupied by audio, video, photos and other content. Another click gives you some more details about the exact number of each type of media you've got on your Nano. So that's rather nice. Just going to show you some of the video content playing back so you can see exactly how smooth it is. Let me just find something that we can look at there. Let's have a look at one of the keynotes from Apple. If we click the center button, we can scroll to a particular point within the video. You can see just how clear that is. It's really crisp screen on this 3rd gen iPod Nano. It actually packs in the same number of pixels as on the iPod Classic, but into the 2-inch screen as opposed to the 2.5-inch screen on the iPod Classic. Let's just forward that on again to a bit further in. If I click again, we get brightness control, so that's at 100% brightness. We can take that down. So about halfway is sort of nice and watchable, or you can go full brightness and it really pops out of the screen. So one of the best screens I've ever seen on an iPod to date. The 3rd generation iPod Nano is available in various colours. The 4GB version comes in silver only and will cost you £99 or $149 US. The 8GB version is available in silver, blue, green, black or a product red colour. It will cost you £129 or $199 US. All of the 3rd generation iPod Nanos are available ready to ship in 24 hours. I was very impressed with this tiny little device. It's a fantastic iPod. As I mentioned when I was giving you a look at the user interface, it's got an absolutely stunning screen. It's certainly one of the best screens that I've ever seen on an iPod. I'm going to sign off now. We'll be back with more video reviews over the coming weeks. Don't forget to check back towards the end of this month when we will be bringing you our video review of the iPod Touch. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to Dave from Geekanoids.co.uk. I'd like to thank Academy Class for sponsoring this video review. Academy Class specialise in development and education of cutting-edge digital media solutions. They run hands-on, instructor-led training using a variety of applications, including Flash, Dreamweaver, Cold Fusion, Flex, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Acrobat, AutoCAD and Final Cut Pro. You can have training on site or at one of their training facilities, which are based in central London, Manchester, Glasgow, Leeds and Devon.